So we'll finish our series on how your clothing should fit and talk about one of the details that seemingly should be easy, but actually, in my opinion, is one of the most complex to get right, and that is the fit of your trousers. So let's start with this really aggressive window pane. It is a European style for a couple of reasons, but primarily because it has a cuff. So if you are going for a cuff trouser, which is a very fashion-forward look these days, you'll want to consider breaking the trouser a little bit shorter than you normally would. So it sits just on the top of your shoe. Basically, no break is the look that you're going for. Also, take note of the width of the ankle. If you're going for a cuffed trouser and you don't want to look dated, then my suggestion would be to go with a shorter and slightly trimmer ankle bottom on your trousers. So I'll transition to flat front, no cuff, which is what most guys are wearing these days. So I'll start with the suit that I have on, which I absolutely love. It's a charcoal shadow plaid, but a couple of things that don't fit great about these trousers here is, first of all, if you look at the back of the trouser, there's too much material in what we refer to as the thigh. So that's where your butt meets your thigh, and you see that little bagginess right there. So really that should be cleaned up. If it was a perfectly fitting trouser, it may have been slightly heavier when I commissioned this suit. And also, if you notice the break of the trouser, there's a little bit more material than I would normally like. A medium break, which is one slight indentation in the front, would be the look that I normally would go for. Width of the trouser is pretty much spot on, but again, if I were improving the fit of these trousers, those are two things that I would look at. So these navy trousers are also part of a suit, and the issues are kind of the reverse of what the previous trousers, the charcoal shadow plaid that I was wearing previously, have. So we'll start with the seat. If you look at the wrinkles in the front right here, this is an indication that the hip dimensions are a little too snug for my current measurements, and that's why you're getting all this wrinkling. Also, look at the length of the trouser. They're a good 1.25 inches above the shoe. Now, part of that is that the ankle is much more tapered than the previous trouser, and so what's happening is it's catching on my calf, and it's not falling as it should, so that needs to be adjusted to be a little bit larger in diameter, probably 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And then because of that taper, again, the whole look just basically looks like I'm trying to fit myself into a trouser that was built for somebody significantly smaller than me. So as you're evaluating the fit of your trousers, you want to think about a couple of things. The waist, you should be able to just barely pinch a little bit in the back. It should be comfortable when you're seated. The hips, it should lay comfortably and not pull around the circumference of your hips. Same with the thigh, the calf, and then the break, which is the length of your outseam. It's really a personal preference, but most guys that we consult with these days are going for a medium break where it just kisses the top of the shoe. There's a slight indentation in the front, and it's going about halfway down the back of your shoe. Happy dressing, my friends.